Welcome back. In today's video, I am going through my entire process of creating items to sell on places like Creative Market. This also works really well if you're just uploading to print-on-demand sites. Probably one of the more frequently asked questions that I get is how I export my designs for these places. So to get started, I'm just opening up something that I already have for sale on Creative Market. And it is a fall digital paper set along with some clip art. And the way I set up my file, I have a spot for the digital paper. I also have a spot to make the patterns. I usually will have motifs off to the side, as you can see, and I also have an artboard for the cover photo on Creative Market. You don't have to have all of these in one file, but that's just how I do it. So once you have something, this first one is for the digital paper. Select it using your selection tool or V on your keyboard. If it is a pattern, you may notice some of these lines, and most of the time, at least while I've been designing, I've noticed most of the time it's just the way that the pattern looks. You can just see where the tile edges are, but once you zoom in, you can see that it will go away. And when you zoom out, you'll also see that they may change where they're at. So once you export them, those lines will go away. So the way I export is I go to File, Export Selection. Whatever you had selected, it's still selected in the assets. It also will show your artboard if you want to just do the artboard. Select where you want it to export to. Select if you want it to open the location after it exports, which most of the time I don't, but for this I'm going to keep that selected, and then I do want it to create a subfolder. Because this is a digital paper and not something like a motif or clip art, I want to save it as a JPEG. You could also do PDF. And then you have selections of the size, so you can go the size that it is all the way up to 4 times, and you could actually type in if you want something larger than that. You could do the set width and height. For this, I want the resolution to be 300 ppi, and then just export asset. So it popped up with the folder and it has the asset in there, and I'm just holding down my space bar so I can get a preview of it, and as you can see, all of those lines are gone. And because I'm just going to continue saving things, there's no point of renaming it right now. So you can continue saving your paper. For these, I like to do different clip art to go along with it or motifs. So just like the paper, select everything you want as one individual clip art and go through that exact same process. So File, Export Selection. And this one is different because with clip art, you do not want a solid background. So change that format to PNG. That way it will have the transparent background. And instead of doing the resolution, I like to do a scale on this, and I like to do 4 times, but you could, like I said, say I want it 8 times. So do the exact same thing and just export. And you can see now there's a massive clip art, but that works really well, and customers like when the item is not extremely small where they can't really use it. So I would just go through and export every single one of those. So then all you need to do is open up the folders, rename everything, and package it in. My folder at the very end of this looks something like this. I usually grab the paper and clip art because I like to have them in separate folders. Right click and then compress 2 items. Save the cover photo separate, and then have your Illustrator file. So you have everything you need and you can upload to Creative Market. And like I said, this works really well if you are like designing something you want it on a t-shirt for a print on demand site. When you export it that exact same way with that PNG, because that way you have the transparent background, you are good to go. And as you can see, there is no background on this. And you can have it on different colors of shirts and different fabrics. I hope you found this video useful, and as always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.